What's up guys, it's Osiris. In this video I'll be showing you how I set up my mastering session for referencing and metering. And yeah, you want to use references and meters and analyzers to be able to mix and master properly. Of course, you should use your ears and your heart and mix and master to what feels good and what sounds good. But your eyes are also very important, and using references are also very important to be able to match your tracks with other industry standard tracks and for your tracks to be able to sound well against other tracks. So the three main tools I use for referencing and metering in the mastering stage are MCompare by Melda Audio, iZotope Tonal Balance Control, and the T-Rax 5 metering plugin. So this one is a comparison plugin. Think of an A and B plugin you can use to quickly see how your sound or how your song sounds with other tracks. So you can load up different references. So I have a genre based reference here. I have a first mix of the same song and other type of reference. I have this one to check how my sides information and how my stereo information sounds. And you can just switch between all the references here. And what I like about MCompare is you can do a blind test. Let's say you have different versions of your master. You can do a blind test to see what sounds good. So you're not being biased and you're actually choosing a good master. So I'll leave some tutorials on how to use MCompare in the description below, but this is how I use it. So in my chain, I have two MCompares, and the first one is to set up my pre-master. So I want to see if my mastering is actually sounding better than the mix, or if I'm actually improving anything in the master. So I have this set up to generate source, and I'm generating source 1. So you can choose different sources here. And in the second MCompare at the end of the chain, I have source 1 here. So I've renamed it to before mastering. So you can set up multiple sources. And the nice thing about MCompare is you can put it at different points of your chain or your signal process to see if you were able to change anything tonally and you're not just changing the volume of things and you're not just having a volume increase, and to check if things actually changed sonic wise. So I have this before my mastering chain, and I'm trying to use this to compare how my mix version and my mastered version sounds at different stage of the master. So if I add in any plugin after this, I'm using this to check if the plugin is actually doing anything and not just adding volume. So this helps me compare my master with my mix and helps me know if my master is actually sounding better than the mix. So I put in all my mastering plugins, and at the end of that, I have the second MCompare, and this one has all the references. So I've loaded up all the references, and in the mastering stage, I do not use these references until I'm done with the mastering. So I use them in the mix stage sometimes to get something sitting well in stereo or in the mid, or to get something sounding like these references sonic wise. But the references for the master, I do not preview them until I'm done with my master usually, and I can just change things up a little. So I also have my first mix. So this is the production master. This was a quick mastering, and mostly I'm comparing this with I'm comparing the first master with my mix and the new master. So for example, let me play this track.
Know the trouble. Any man we comfort, he must get it double. Hey, say na number level.
And you can compare it with the first mix. So I have this synced to play at the same time.
Say we know the trouble. Any man we comfort, he must get it double. Hey, say na number level. And as long as you the hustle, girl, you must be bubble.
So yeah, my new master, the master on this project, is actually sounding better than the first production master. So we can also check how things sounded before the mastering with the MCompare I had set up first.
Say we know the trouble. Any man we comfort, he must get it double. Hey, say na number level. And as long as you the hustle, girl, you must be bubble. Say we know the trouble. Any man we comfort, he must get it double. Hey, say na level. And as long as you the hustle, girl.
So what this does is it tries to match the loudness with the automatic loudness compensation. So you can see the difference between your mix and your master at the same volume.
Say we know the trouble. Any man we comfort, he must get it double. Hey, say na level. And as long as you the hustle, girl, you must.
So yeah, I think the master is sounding better than the mix. So I'm not going to play any of the other references because of copyright, but it's the same thing as you are playing your track.
Say we know the trouble.
You can turn on any reference and just compare things. And you can also check like mid, side information, left and right information. So yeah, this is a very, very versatile tool. It also has a loudness meter, but I just use the T-Rax meter. This is one of the best all-in-one metering plugins to check things. So you have your loudness meter, you have the VU meter, you have your spectrogram, and you have your frequency spectrum analyzer here. So you also have a correlation meter here, which is also very important. So I put this T-Rax meter at the end of the chain, and after I'm done with my referencing with MCompare.
Say we know the trouble. Any man we comfort, he must get it double. Hey, say na level. And as long as you the hustle, girl, you must do.
So when I'm done with my referencing and tuning things with the plugins I have set up, then I can check things in Tonal Balance Control. So this is just like a double check for me. I don't use this to make decisions. When I'm done with mastering and when I'm done comparing things with my references, I usually choose one of the genres here. Let's go with hip hop and let's see how things sound with against Tonal Balance Control. So how this works is you have this blue range here, and if your line is sitting in the range, that means you're pretty good for that genre. So it's a good suggestion. And for different genres, you have different ranges and they can change from genre to genre. So let's put this on hip hop and let's play this.
Say we know the trouble. Any man we comfort, he must get it double. Hey, say na level. And as long as you the hustle, girl, you must.
So I'm sitting pretty well in the range according to Tonal Balance Control, and you also have a fine view.
Say we know the trouble. Any man we comfort, he must get it double. Hey, say na level. And as long as you the hustle, girl, you must do bubble.
So yeah, you also have a crest factor meter to show how dynamic or compressed your low end is. So yeah, this video is not a detailed video of how to use all these plugins. I just want to show you the way I set up metering and referencing for my mastering process. Having the easy ability to compare different tracks at the click of the button, compare the difference between your mix and your master at the same volume, and having a good metering tool to check things out is always great. And also having an AI tool, that's what they call Tonal Balance Control, to check how your things sound against different songs. And so because this was trained against many different songs in different genres with machine learning, and seeing that your song sits well with this suggestion is also a great idea. These tools can help you make great decisions. You can use this to quickly reference things, check your mix before and after, check your master before and after, compare different versions of your master, and you also have your blind test here to know if you are being biased with something. You have a great metering plugin at the end of the chain and Tonal Balance Control at the end to check if you're sitting well against different genres. So this is just a very suggestive plugin and I like to use that. So that's how I set up referencing and metering for my mastering project. And I hope you learned something from this and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll leave a link to these 3 plugins in the description and the comments. Let me know how you set up referencing, which plugins you use for A and B, which plugins you use for metering. And yeah, I hope you're having a great day. I'll see you in the next video.